Hello everyone, welcome to Small Group. We are starting a brand new series at church called Law and Gospel. I'm excited about it because it is about the Gospel of John. The idea is we're going to take one chapter per week in the Gospel of John, and we're going to see what the Lord would say to us through that. This past Sunday, the title was, Who is Jesus? John chapter 1 answers that question by going back into the Old Testament in the first book of the law, the first book of the books of Moses, the Torah, Genesis. And the Gospel of John in the first chapter draws language from the creation narrative. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and God said, let there be light. The Gospel of John chapter 1 explains that said part of it was actually the second dimension, the second person in the Trinity, or the triune nature of God, which John chapter 1 calls the Word. So in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning, that's the matching language, was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. And all things were made through Him. Nothing that was made without Him. So the Trinity of God, if you take the whole Bible together, is something like this. You have the creative intelligence, you have the expression or the command or the word of that creative intelligence, and then you have the power that carries out the expression or command of that creative intelligence. So Father, Son or Word, Holy Spirit. And the beginning of the Gospel of John is a tremendous passage that explains that. So I hope that you'll really sort of get into it and let the Lord speak to you through it. We talked about some other things that the first chapter of the Gospel of John discusses. We talked about how the light that is in mankind, that kind of brings mankind up to a higher level of cognition than the rest of the animals, is really something that the Apostle John attributes to Jesus Christ. It's a mystery, but it's a powerful mystery. And then we also talked about how Jesus Christ is similar to an executor. And what I explained was, it says that even though the world didn't see him that he created, didn't understand who he was, even those who were his own, which is talking about the Jewish people, didn't understand, but as many as did receive him, whether it's Jewish people or non-Jewish people, as many as did receive him, to them gave he the right to become children of God, even those who believe in his name, which is powerful language, because the idea is, when it says, to them gave he the right to become children of God, it's as if Jesus Christ is the executor. Now, an executor is someone that's appointed to carry out the desires stated in a will. So if somebody dies, then whoever's in the will has certain rights, given certain conditions. The executor is the one appointed to make sure that whatever is given to someone in the will is something that person gets. So you and I, based on the death of Jesus Christ, have certain rights and privileges that are stated in the new will or the New Testament. And Jesus Christ miraculously comes back to life on the third day to be the executor, to make sure that we receive what we have a right to have. Namely, the adoption, what's called the spirit of adoption. To them, as many as received him, gave he the right to become children of God, and all that comes with it, even those who believe in his name. We talked about how the idea of the name means who he is, that he's divine. The answer to the question of who is Jesus, the title of Sunday's sermon, is that he is God. He is the Son of God and God the Son. The Word became flesh, it says in John, and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. And that word dwelt means tabernacle. There's that Old Testament language again. And we beheld his glory. We beheld his Shekinah glory. What was once forbidden in the Old Testament, we beheld his glory. The glory is of the only begotten Son of the Father, full of grace and truth. And that's really what the gospel is. The gospel is the gospel of grace. How we, even though we don't deserve any part of God's goodness or his benefits, or certainly not, we don't deserve being his child, that God gives it to us because he loves us. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the gospel of grace. And the best thing about the gospel of grace is God himself. That we have access, that we can go into the throne room of God because of God's executor, Jesus Christ, and we can receive the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit. And And so that's the lesson, and there's much more. I encourage you to maybe hear the audio tape, get that audio tape, or listen to it online through the website. And I hope you have a great small group. We will see you next Sunday.